What's up, nerds, and welcome to Deck to the Future. Today we're going to be talking about Judith, Carnage Connoisseur. So, as you know, this series, we're going to be looking at cards that haven't even come out yet, and we're going to be building commander decks for them. Judith, bit of a spicy deck coming up. Okay, Carnage Connoisseur, so she's 5 mana, 3/4. We've been seeing some, understated creatures, which is understandable with an ability this strong. So, whenever you cast an instant sorcery, choose one. It either gains Death Touch and Lifelink. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. Or you can create a 2/2 red imp with whenever this creature dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Both of those abilities are good, okay? Neither of them is a bad ability. And we're going to be using both. So, creature-wise, we want to be able to benefit off of casting spells while she's out, and just in general. So, Vindictive Flamestoker is going to get oil counters, and then you can sacrifice it to draw 4 cards. We want to keep our hands full, and that's just going to be an important part of that. Erebor Flamesmith is going to be burning our opponents out while we're casting spells. Harmonic Prodigy is going to make Judith and a lot of our other little burning guys trigger additional times. If you think Judith being able to create 1 2/2 is good, having her create 2 2/2s every spell cast is even better. And having her give that spell Death Touch, Lifelink, and create a 2/2 is really, really good. It's good. Kessig Flamebreather, Thermo-Alchemist, both deal good damage. Same with Guttersnipe. Charforger, you're going to be having a good stream of imps if you're casting spells, and then being able to exile the top card of your library for every 3 creatures that die. It's just going to give you more options and more spells to play. Nadier's Nightblade will also benefit from your imps dying. Vito is going to benefit from giving your spells lifelink. Efreet Flamepainter is going to let you cast your spells for free, along with Living Lightning, letting you get your spells back. Storm-Kiln Artist is just going to help fuel the machine, keep you pumping out spells with more treasure. Raphael, Fiendish Savior is going to make those imps 3/3s, and then they'll have lifelink, which I believe when they deal that 2 damage, when they die, they'll still have lifelink, so you'll gain 6 life every time one of them dies, if you're at a table with 3 other players. Tor Wauki the Younger, 5 mana, 3/3, reach lifelink. If another source you control would deal non-combat damage to a player, to a permanent or player, deals that much damage +1, which is good, because we have burn spells, blah blah blah. They're going to be gaining Death Touch anyway, but you'll be gaining more off the lifelink. But then you get that part, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, deals 2 damage to any target, he has lifelink, so you're just going to keep doing more damage. It's really strong, actually. This doesn't seem like a big facet to the deck, but I played Tor Wauki in, what's it? It's killing me that I can't remember its name. It's a Hellion. It's from, Obosh the Prey Piercer. I played him in that, and he's brutal. Okay, so, I have a lot of love for this card. Soul Ring for ramp, Arcane Signet for ramp, Lightning Greaves, because protecting Judith is actually really important to the deck. Rakdos Signet, Spell Satchel will possibly let you draw cards, but it's just kind of like a mana rock. Swiftfoot Boots to protect Judith, Talisman of Indulgence for ramp, Wishclaw to look for specific spells, Bolas' Citadel, we just saw this card earlier today, but she's going to keep... Okay. If you're going to be casting spells that have lifelink and are dealing damage, most of the time, those lifelink spells are going to gain you the life back that you need to cast another spell from Bolas' Citadel. Plus, if you're able to create imps instead, you can sacrifice those imps, right? Let's say you sacrifice 10 imps. All 10 of those imps will deal 2 damage to the opponent, and then they'll lose 10 from Bolas' Citadel. So that's 30 damage, best case scenario. Okay, Dark Ritual, it's more or less a free spell. It's going to help you get out Judith, or if she's out, it's just a free imp. Dual Shot, so you'll gain 2 life, because it has lifelink, and then it has Death Touch. So it's a 1 mana kill 2 things. Lava Dart, it's a 1 mana kill 1 thing, but you can, bring it back. Braid is just general removal. Casting the Fire is like a Braid, but it's a 2 mana kill 2 things. your opponents are not going to be able to keep things around. Increasing Vengeance is just kind of a burn, not burn, it's a copy spell, so you're going to be gaining back the life. Price of Progress. This seems bad in a lot of decks, right? However, it deals damage. And if it deals damage to you, you have life, like, it has lifelink. So whatever it deals to you, you gain back automatically, plus whatever it deals to your opponent. Which is great. Rakdos Charm doesn't really interact, like, the final ability doesn't interact with Judith. The Death Touch or lifelink won't matter. But being able to destroy an artifact or get rid of a graveyard is really good. Fire Covenant is interesting, because it's a good enough spell in a lot of decks. However, if it's dealing that damage, A, remember Death Touch, B, remember lifelink. So if you pay 39 life to deal 39 damage across the board, by dealing that damage, you gain back that 39 life. So it's basically a free board wipe for 3 mana, which is good. Seething Song, it's a free spell, it's more mana. Blazing Volley, that 1 damage to each creature, that's, like, let's just say there's, like, 8 creatures. That's 8 life you're gaining for 1 mana. And then it has Death Touch. So it is a one-sided board wipe for 1 mana, which is crazy. Faithless Looting, classic draw, Forked Bolt, you can deal the same thing, destroying creatures. Mana Clash is interesting, because I like gambling, kind of. So, you and target opponent each flip a coin. Deals 1 damage to each player whose coin comes up tails. Repeat this process until both players' coins come up heads on the same flip. So, technically, this could keep going. However, it has lifelink, so you regain any life that this deals to you. So, basically, your opponent is just sent through the meat grinder until you both do heads. So, it's kind of busted. Boiling Earth, again, one-sided board wipe. Delete. This is a multi-sided board wipe. However, if you think about it, it deals that damage to each player, which, A, you're going to regain. B, let's just say we do 5. And there's 10 creatures on the board. So you gain 60 life if you're hitting... Sorry, no, you gain 65 life. That's just insane. That's crazy. And the board's clear? What is your opponent going to do? Feed the Swarm is general removal. Night's Whisper for draw. Ooh, hold on. Night's Whisper for draw. Reckless Impulse is kind of like Impulse... Well, it is Impulse draw. Scouring Sands. One-sided board wipe. Scry 1. Sign in Blood is just... You draw 2. If I... No, so it's lose life, so it doesn't actually matter. Smash to Dust. One-sided board wipe. Ren's Resolve for more cards. Anger of the Gods. Again, like, this does kill your creatures as well, but gaining 3 for each creature it deals damage to is kind of crazy. Like, 10 creatures, that's 30 life. However, killing Judith with it is kind of a bummer. Arc Lightning kills 3 creatures for 3 mana. Ashes to Ashes, so you exile 2 non-artifact creatures, deals 5 damage to you, which you regain. So it's a 3 mana exile 2 creatures, which is good because not everything can be destroyed with Death Touch and or damage, like indestructible creatures. Granted, it's not going to save you from a Blightsteel, but if you gave other decks the option of a 3 mana exile 2, I think they would take it. Jessica's Will, so much value, it's so good. Magic Missile destroys 3 creatures. Chain Reaction, nuts. We're just going to go back to that 10 creatures on the board thing, right? So 10 creatures on the board, that's 10 damage to each creature. So basically, you gain 100 life. And then on top of gaining 100 life, which is, that's a little silly, that's a little cute ability as is, Judith is creating an imp when you cast the spell. So that makes it 11 creatures. And then that, like, she's crazy. It goes off. It's crazy. Ignite the Future, just exiles cards. You can cast them later. Mizzix's Mastery, just to kind of go off with whatever's in your graveyard. Throes of Chaos, it's like a free spell. Well, it's 2 free spells. So essentially, you'll get to create like, 2/2/2s, or, you'll get no, you just create 2/2/2s. And I mean, like, that's pretty good for 4 mana. Burn down the house, so dealing 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, that's good. Death Touch Lifelink makes that good. And then creating 3 1/1 devils is okay, but the fact that you're creating 3 1/1 devils and a 2/2 devil makes it a little bit better. Mana Geyser for the insane amount of ramp. Command the Dreadhorde is fucking busted. Alright, so you choose any number of target creature and or planeswalker cards in graveyard. It deals damage to you equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards. Put them onto the battlefield. Keyword damage, so you can more or less take as much as you want before it kills you. If you're at 40 life, you take 39 life worth, you take 39 mana worth of creatures. You put that 39 mana worth of creatures onto your battlefield for 6 mana, and then you regain 39 life. If you have, like, Vito or, like, Sanguine Bond on your side of the battlefield, there's nothing they can do, because you will regain 39 life and then deal 39 damage because of Vito or whatever. Star of Extinction, of course, is good. Gaining 20 life for each creature, you're not dying after that. Except for Infect, maybe. Same with gaining 13 for each creature with Blasphemous. Again, destroying your own board sucks, but it's just an insane amount of value. Fire Inscription just helps burn people out. Sanguine Bond, because of course, if you're gaining that much life, you basically just win. And don't quote me on this, but if I understand it correctly, the 13 damage to each creature is like individual damage. So you'd be able to trigger Sanguine Bond 13 each time. So it'd be like it's just like a whole bunch of triggers, and you're going to be able to deal a shit ton of damage. Arcane Bombardment to just keep casting spells. You'll get imps, you'll get whatever you want. Fiery Emancipation to triple damage. Just you really show off. Return to the Past gives your instants and sorceries flashback. Again, just, keep the board alive. Ugh. This deck is mean. I'm just gonna say it straight out. Land-wise, we got Canyon Slough, Command Tower, Cryptic Caves, Dragon Skull Summit, Evolving Wilds, Fields of Ruin, Foreboding Ruins, Mountains, Shadowblood Ridge, Smoldering Marsh, and Swamps. There are Surveil lands in the new set. They're like the temples that scry, but they surveil, so maybe the black-red Surveil land could make it in. Price-wise, what are you guys guessing for price? Like, this doesn't seem too expensive. The last deck was $150. I don't know how it calculated over $2,000 for mid, but market's only $104. So we're gonna go with market and say it's market price. Little test deck. So getting to Judith is probably gonna be the problem here. We're not in the best of ramp colors, so I guess no. Turn 1, we play Mountain into Faithless Looting, so we are going to draw 2, then discard 2. We probably get rid of a Swamp and Increasing Vengeance, because we can always flashback that later. Moving in, turn 2, we'd probably want to do something like Kessig Flamebreather. Move to turn 3, Smoldering Marsh into Guttersnipe. Turn 4, we're going to Mountain. Maybe Dual Shot to take out 2 1-drop or 2 1-power creatures. Sign in Blood will deal 3 damage to the opponents, 2 damage to us. We'll draw 2. Moving into turn 5, we have Judith. However, this is a little bit dangerous because we do have no way to protect her. Moving into turn 6, it would probably be like Soul Ring into Rakdos Signet. Past turn, probably burn down the house. We'll create the imps. We'll have imps from her, and then and then Bolas' Citadel. In which case, we would just play Bolas' Citadel, and just start going off like 4, 5, and then, I mean, more or less. Now that Sanguine Bond's out, as soon as we find a board wipe type thing, we just kind of win. So we play Mountain for turn, and then we break a Dragon Skull Summit, of course. Go into next turn, Charforger, Wishclaw, and then we'd probably Wishclaw up Blasphemous Act, and just destroy the board, gain a shit ton of life, and win the game. Overall, I don't think this deck is based on consistency. I think this deck is based on explosivity. Alright, you have so much you can do with Judith. You can flood the board, you can just... it doesn't seem like a lot, but it has a lot of potential. Yeah, that's how I would be playing it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like Deck to the Future? Does it need a better name? Like, let me know. And let me know what other cards. I think I have 2 more planned for Murderous at Karlov Mansion, but you know, just let me know what you're thinking, and I'll see you in the next one.